Well, this is a interesting video on kitchen maths. I was watching America's Test Kitchen. I love America's Test Kitchen. And I watched two ladies trying to make sliders in the style of White Castle. And I noticed that she had a pound and a half of beef and she was using a scale and then weighing 2 ounces. And then the other lady was rolling them up in balls. And then they would bring the balls back and then they would push them down with a pie plate, well, a glass pie plate so they could see through. And as she's pushing it down, she's got a ruler and she's saying, and you push it down until it just measures 4 inches across. And I'm thinking, well, that is a really cumbersome way to do business. So I normally make smash burgers and I use 80 grams of meat, and that's a third cup. And by the rule of threes, I was able to figure out that a quarter cup will give you just about 2 ounces, okay? It's also, if you'll notice here, it's equal to 60 cubic centimeters and 60 grams, or about 2 ounces. Now, beef's a little denser than water, obviously, because it sinks, but the difference is not really going to make a big deal here. So what I do, for their purposes, they wanted to make discs of 4 inches in diameter. So taking the quarter cup measure that I have had a 55 millimeter inside diameter and it was 25 millimeters tall. So I want to extend that 55 to 100, and I'm looking for that little question mark there. What is the new height of my burger? And I called it X. Of course, the formula for this is volume equals height times pi times the radius squared. So I convert the h to x because really that's what I'm looking for. So now I have the 60 equal to pi r squared times x. And if I divide both sides by pi r squared, I wind up with 60 divided by pi r squared on one side and x on the other. So I just start filling in values. Pi is about 3.14. The radius is half of that diameter of 100, so that's 50. And since I'm dealing in cubic centimeters, I kind of want to convert everything back to centimeters. So in essence, I have 10 centimeters. Half of that, which is the radius, is 5 squared, 25. So 25 times pi divided into 60, and that will give me 0.76 centimeters. Okay, so what I do is I found, and you can do this, you can take coins of your nationality. If you need euros or you're using, I forget what the British use anymore. The Americans, you can use dimes, pennies, or even nickels. I use single pesos here. And five of them, equaled about 0.8 centimeters. So again, I'm pretty close to 0.76 with my 0.8. Now, why did I choose to have 3 columns? Well, 2 columns can rock, okay? That describes a line, and I can't get a plane until I actually have 3 points. So I'll go ahead and line those up on the 3 points. Now, I fill the quarter cup measure with beef, and I make sure I have all the air out of it. And they had mentioned that they use plastic because what they learned in how to kind of make tortillas. Well, yeah, I mean, Mexicans, we've been using plastic here since plastic's been around to put inside of a little tortilla maker. It's a little gizmo that folds over and you have a lever and you push down and it'll squish everything flat. So that's what I've done here too. We go ahead and, of course, my friend Mario used to make his hamburgers in a tortilla press as well. So what I've done is I take my little ball of I take my little ball of quarter cup, which is 2 ounces, or about 60 grams, and I place that into the plastic bag. I put the other side of the plastic bag over, and now I just quickly move my 3 points of peso columns, and then I push the pie plate down, and lo and behold, it has to give me the 4 inches or 10 centimeters that I'm looking for. Perfect. Now, if you did this process this way, each time getting your quarter cup of beef, putting it in the plastic, then lining up the pesos and then pushing down on the plate and then putting that into the pan. That would actually take you longer. So my advice to make this even more efficient is to go ahead and separate all your balls out first, or in this case, your half cup measures, because they're going to come out like a little cylinder. So again, out of 1.5 pounds, you should get 12 1/4 cup sizes. Now, if the last one doesn't quite come out as big, just add a little meat. Again, just always go a little over anyway, and then you can always add it, right? So make out all your cylinders first, and then go ahead and press them, and then go ahead and lay them in the pan. So again, the whole idea here was to make this process very efficient and not have so much weighing, and of course that uses a battery. All right, so, or I mean, unless you have a scale, but a balance, a literal balance. But most people have, battery powered scales. Hey, once you get the volume, start using volume because it's cheap and you don't have to use so many batteries. I mean, again, a lot of people like to think they're green, but they don't do green things. This is a very green way to go to make your hamburgers. So I hope this video has helped. If you have questions or comments, and you can make it any size you want. So again, all you have to do is plug everything into the formula, and again, you can make it 100 millimeters wide or 120 millimeters wide, assuming you have enough beef. All right, so that's it for here. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and bon appetit.